Hello guys, Brian is back here again with the the 7 aspects of life. The aspects that we every day need to take care of so they can take care of us as we journey towards the destination that are fulfilling our purpose on a daily basis and working on our dreams to come true will take us eventually, a destination that we will definitely not regret. Hopefully your purpose is a positive one that leaves the earth better than it was than where before you were here. The 7 aspects, are your spiritual aspect, your soul aspect, your physical body aspect, your financial aspect, your social life aspect, your renewal aspect, your duplication aspect. I just like to mention what they are, like like a snippet of what this channel is about. The reason why we always talk about the 7 aspects, it's because they are the aspects that we need to take care of. It's pretty much one big ball wrapped up tightly, but for us to study them and for us to be able to upgrade them each individually, to be able to maintain them, to be able to repair anything that needs to be repaired when there is a situation, then it makes it easier to do that because we have like dissected it into 7 aspects. And when you really look at life, everything in life kind of fits into all the 7 aspects really, and then also there's the components, the tools that you can use across the board. I've talked about that in a video somewhere down below. And then there's the first component is the tools, and the second component is the MCM, which is mentees, colleagues, and mentorship, colleagues, and mentees. So that's also I've talked about that in videos at the bottom. So anyway, just after that snippet of what this is about, I want to talk about I've already talked about the first aspect of life, which is your spiritual life, your spiritual aspect in relation to the 7 habits of highly effective people. The 7 habits, which are pretty common, I'm sure most of you listening to me know about them. These are like the first habit being, being proactive and not reactive, and the second habit being, starting with the end in mind. That means like you have a blueprint, a mission statement, like you visualize the end of your life and see what it is that you want to have accomplished at the end of your life. And whatever that visualization is, you write down what it is, and and then you come to the third habit, which is starting with first things first. Then once you write your mission statement based on what the visualization of the end of your life should look like based on your purposes and the roles that you play in life, then you come back and then you start doing the activities that will get you there. It's a blueprint for your life. Just like when we build a house, we have a blueprint. A blueprint is you completing the house on paper with all the dimension and everything that you will need, to fit into the house to make sure that it's complete. And then the third habit is coming back and actually building the physical house. So the third habit is after you've written down your blueprint, you've seen the end in mind, your vision of what you want it to look like, then you come back to the present day mentally and start doing the activities that you need to do. It's the building, the actual building of that vision. And then the fourth one is thinking win-win. So that means that when it comes to other people, when you're making decisions, when you're doing this, as you're busy trying to fulfill your purpose and making your dreams come true on a daily basis, we're making decisions. We're doing things that involve others. So when it comes to that, you should always have a win-win attitude, which means that you should always think of how you can do things that actually benefit other people and not just yourself. For example, you know, if you have a project or you have something that you're trying to do, you know, you think win-win. How can I get what I want, and the person or the people involved with what I'm doing, how can they get what they want too? So that's the fourth habit. The fifth one is you know, before you attempt to get understood, make sure you understand others, because what that does is when you give somebody an opportunity to explain themselves first thoroughly to the point where you actually completely and empathetically listen to their side of whatever it is that you guys are discussing, then you open the doors for them to completely understand your side of the issue. So that's the fifth one. I'm trying to explain them briefly because that's not this video is not about that, but I just have to mention them because they're going to be they in relation to what I'm going to talk about. So the sixth one is synergizing. That means you know, if you we call it celebrating differences. So if you have say, like for example, people have different skills that they can work. And so because they have different skills, like maybe one of your friends might be good with a good accountant, and you might be a good salesperson, you know, you can combine those two skills together and come up with you know, with a result that would actually be more beneficial for both of you than it would have been if you just did it by yourself. You know, so synergizing is putting instead of fighting against each other because of the differences that you have, you actually like celebrate, put those differences to work together and create something that you would not be able to create just on your own. And last but not least is sharpening your saw. Always, you know, making sure that when you're out there fulfilling your purpose and trying to, you know, work on your dreams, that you are actually you know, working at 100% capacity, or at least a high level capacity. You know, that means that if you're tired, maybe take a break, or you know, take a rest, or do whatever you need to do. Drink a cup of coffee, you know, do whatever you need to do to stay sharp. Read books, you know, read books, have more knowledge and understanding of whatever it is that you're doing, you know, accumulate information about it, you know, so that way you are operating at a high level, you know, as much as possible. And if you need to take a nap, take a nap. You know, just operating with a sharp axe. Always, you know, it could be mentally, it could be metaphorically, it could mean mentally, it could mean your physical energy, it could mean you know, just being present. You know, so anything that you need to do to keep all your faculties, you know, operating, being, you know, sharp, in a sharp state of being. So now this video is about it's about the second aspect of life, which is the soul aspect, in relation to the 7 habits. So, you know, we learn the 7 habits, and then we put the 7 habits into every aspect, because what are we trying to do? We're trying to maximize the you know, the troubleshooting, the maintenance, and the updates of every aspect, so that they can be all working in good condition. What are we doing for that for? What's the purpose of that? To minimize distractions, to minimize stoppages, to minimize resistance, to, you know, to smoothen out the potholes, to minimize the pitfalls, to know where the landmines are, to know where all the alligators are, you know, so that way we can know what to do. You know, just like a car, you know, you do daily maintenance, or you do a daily checkup. The good example is actually an airplane. When pilots are you know, they do a visual checkup when, you know, once the airplane has landed, there's a very regular maintenance program that airplanes go through, and then before the pilot takes off, they also do like a visual walk around the airplane, so it's kind of something like that. So all our aspects need to have that, so that just like before you get into your car, we'll walk around the car, make sure that your tires are good, just a small walk around. When you turn on the engine, your check lights, they all turn on, for the car to go through the whole system to make sure everything's running good. And if there's a situation, then an indicator light might turn on to let you know that there's something going on. So the first habit how would you apply the first habit into the second aspect of life, which is your soul aspect? Now, the first habit is being proactive. The soul aspect, remember we talked about the head activity of the soul aspect is renewing your mind. It's feeding your mind with the right type of material. It's working with your mind, because sometimes there are things that we have learned that maybe were not incorrect, they were not correct principles as we were growing up, that people taught us maybe didn't know that they were teaching us the wrong principles. So there's some things we have to unlearn, and there's some things we have to relearn. There's some things we have to add more information to, maybe we didn't get enough information, and there's some things we totally just don't know. They say that there's four quadrants of knowledge. It's the things that you don't know about you, and nobody else knows either. And then there's the things that people know about you and you don't know about you. For example, you just ate spinach for lunch and you have a piece of spinach on your tooth. You might not know that you have a piece of spinach on your tooth, but somebody who you're talking to is staring at that piece of spinach and probably not focusing on what you're saying. And then the third quadrant is the things that you know about yourself and other people don't. And then the fourth one is what other people know. So those are the fourth ones. So it's something that people don't know about you and you don't know, something that they know that you don't know, and something that you know that they don't know, like your bank account. You might not know your bank account, and then there are things that everybody knows. So when it comes to that, the one that's really important is the one that you know, that you don't know, that you don't know, and other people don't know that you don't know. So that's why we keep on gaining and gathering information, because we need to get to where we are trying to figure out what it is that we don't know, because sometimes what you don't know might hurt you. Like for example, if you don't know that some foods, if you eat them, they affect you in a certain way, and you keep eating them, then that's not a good situation to be in. So you need to know, because now you don't even know what you don't know, and whatever you don't know that you don't know is affecting you. So that's why we constantly, continually keep on gathering knowledge, understanding the knowledge, and applying it, on a daily basis. So that's being proactive. So when it comes to proactivity, you constantly, whether you sometimes you don't feel like doing it, but you're constantly feeding your mind on relevant materials that will help you with your purpose, will help you with your dream, will help you to take care of the 7 aspects. So you do it proactively, you do it religiously on a daily basis. You do it because regardless of your feelings. So this is something you do almost like a robot. So what does proactivity have to do with this? That means that you write proactivity, will make you do it regardless of how you're feeling. Like you'll sidestep your feelings and your emotions that are probably telling you not to do it, or want you to do something else, and you become proactive and do it. I try to give just brief examples of what I'm talking about, because I don't want the video to be like 2-3 hours long. So that's a relatable situation when it comes to being proactive on soul aspect of life. And the reason why I'm talking about, your mind, because that's the main activity that you need to do on a daily basis that affects all the other activities that you do on the soul aspect, to maintain it, to upgrade it, to update it, to troubleshoot. So, and then when it comes to the next habit is the starting with the end in mind. So that's when you write a mission statement. You write down a mission statement, and being proactive will also help you do that. It'll help you to know that being proactive really means that you're in control. You are in control. You're the creator. So that's what proactive means, that you are in charge. So that means that because you're in charge, when it comes to the second habit, it makes you write a mission statement. What do you want your soul aspect to look like towards the end of a certain period of time? Say, example, towards the end of your life. What do you want it to look like? Do you want it to, what vision do you have? Like how much growth do you want to have gained towards the end of your life? And whatever that visualization is, you come back and write that down as your mission statement in relation to your purpose, obviously. So you write that mission statement down that is specific for the soul aspect, of life. So once you write that mission statement down, then the third habit in relation to the second aspect of your life, which is your soul, is to now come back to start doing the activities that you need to do to make that visualization come true, to turn it into like a reality. So once you do that, then on a daily basis, there are things you're going to be doing that will help you troubleshoot your soul aspect, or update it, upgrade it, or just maintain it. And usually it's just constantly gaining, learning knowledge and understanding how to take care of your soul, and how to take care of all the other aspects. So you're constantly just on a daily basis reading. It doesn't have to be lengthy reading. If you have that luxury of time to do that, go ahead and do it. But it can be a 30-minute read, 20-minute read, 1 hour read, but every day you're putting something in there. Because that's how you build your soul, because your soul is built on things that are not tangible, like knowledge, like information, wisdom. So you're seeking people who can help you to build, constantly develop your soul, to where it's operating at a high level of performance, And then the fourth habit is win-win. So whatever it is that you're doing, like what I do is that when I'm gathering information and trying to understand it and trying to apply it on a daily basis, is I'm thinking of how when I learn this, how I'm going to teach others. They say the best way to learn is to learn whatever you're learning as if you're going to teach somebody else, because you will. You might not sit down with somebody and they sit down across the table and you talk about it, but maybe while you're acting it, while you're applying it in life, they might see you doing that. They might watch you and see what you're doing, and that might be a lesson for them. But I would the best way to do it is, let me learn this and understand it, put it into practice, and kind of get it to start working for me, and then share it with others. So that would be how you would apply the win-win aspect. The fourth habit of the 7 aspects of life onto the second aspect of life, which is your soul aspect. So like I said, I'm just giving brief examples. There's so many other examples that you can give out there, but we're just kind of like working on the skeleton here, the skeleton of the topic. So, and then we go to the 5th habit, which is the understanding others before you have them understand you. So with that, you can for example, if I would say with that is if you can maybe when you're reading a book, you're working really hard to try to understand what the person is saying. Like sometimes there's some things that actually have to listen to twice. Their books have to read, like the 7 habits. I've read it like a lot of times. And every time I read it, I realize that there's something new that I didn't hear, I didn't understand. And obviously the reason for that is because, you know, the last time you listened to it, you were in a different state, different emotion. Maybe it was a different time of your life. And when you come back to read it again, you're a different version of yourself. So somehow your mind is able to catch some things that you didn't catch last time you read it. So, you know, it's about you understand what you're reading or what you're listening to thoroughly before you can know how to apply that into your life. You know, that's how I would consider applying understanding others before you have them understand you. Because once you understand them and what they're trying to teach you, then you can look at yourself and see, how can I apply what they're teaching me, you know, into life. Or if you're teaching whatever you're learning to somebody else, maybe you have them tell you what it is that you know, a willing student, that is, you know, they can teach you how to you know, what it is that they're looking for, you know, that they might want to understand when it comes to their soul aspect of life. Then once you understand what they're trying to look for, just like a doctor, you go to a doctor, they diagnose, you know, you let them know what's going on before they write a prescription. So you might want to understand them, and then maybe you can explain to them how you're going to help them, you know, if you can, in that situation. So, you know, and then when also, as you're gathering information and building your soul aspect up, you're not just doing it for yourself, you're also building it up for you and for others, because what you're trying to do is become a better version of you, so that we can minimize any distractions, any stoppages, any resistance, any potholes in that particular aspect of life. And once you do that, then the people around you also benefit, because if you're a better version of you, then anybody who's close to you gets, you know, benefits from that, because you are a better person to deal with. You know, you're much more effective and efficient, you know. So that's the fifth. So the sixth one is synergize. Synergizing is, say for example, you know, you might have a study group or something. You guys are reading a book together, or you know, there's somebody who's good at reading books and you're good at audio. You know, maybe you can exchange notes. Maybe there's somebody who's really good at reading books fast, somebody who knows how to summarize books, and maybe you're good at really comprehending the information. So you can group up with somebody, and you can work out a way where you can have like a plan where you help each other to grow in your soul, or you help each other to understand the books that you're reading, or you discuss things together, and they give you insights that you would never have seen, because they have different skills than you, or maybe they have a different personality than you know. And I'm sure you can give many examples, many ways, creative ways you can apply the fifth habit of the 7 aspects of life into the second aspect of life, which is your soul aspect. So, and last but not least, we go to the 7th habit of highly effective people, which is sharpening your saw. Applying, and how do we apply that into the second aspect of life, which is your soul aspect. Now, I would say with that one, you would pretty much just, if you're ready to read, I would say the best time to read, the best time to listen to positive, you know, material, especially for me, you know, everybody's different, is in the morning when my brain is nice and fresh. That's the best time I like to, you know, just drink up all the positive materials that I need for that day. You know, it's almost like my coffee. You know, it's like, you know, a lot of people drink coffee. I drink coffee, but I'm not a religious coffee drinker. But in the morning, I love listening to positive material, reading, you know, meditating on the Holy Scriptures, and that gets me going. That you know, builds that energy up. And so, you know, and if I'm not done and I'm getting, you know, sometimes you can feel your brain getting duller and duller, because maybe, you know, it's kind of getting tired of whatever you're doing. then maybe you can drink a cup of coffee to boost up the sharpness. So what I would say how to apply this is to keep your mind sharp for constant reading, especially if you're not done. If you're not done reading, say you're listening to a podcast or you're reading a book and your goal was to maybe read 2-3 chapters, and by the second chapter you're feeling like worn out, your brain is starting to shut down. Maybe you can give it a boost so that you can finish those chapters in a sharper state of mind. Because if you don't remember, when you operate with a dull tool, then you end up using more energy. You end up burning more energy. You end up using more effort and more time. Because if you're reading with a dull mind, then sometimes I know I've done that before, where you read a whole page and you don't even you didn't comprehend anything, don't even remember what it is that you read, because your mind is wandering all over the place. So that's an example that I would give on how to apply the seventh aspect of life into the second aspect of your life, which is your soul. And I'm sure you can give many other examples on how you can apply all these 7 habits. So what it is every aspect you can apply the 7 habits of highly effective people on every aspect, all the 7. So the next video will obviously be the third aspect of life, which is your physical body, and how you apply the 7 habits into the third aspect of life, which is your physical body. How do you apply those habits into that? And with that, I will see you on the next one. God bless. Bye-bye.